Hello students, my name is Niyati Said and thanks for watching Edupedia Word videos. My topic for the presentation is second section of the chapter Morphology of Flowering Plants. Flowering plants are also called as angiosperms students. In this section of the video, we will discuss about the stem. Okay, so this is the external morphology of a stem. Students, what are the features that distinguish a stem from root? The stem, it is the ascending part of a axis that bears branches, leaf, flowers and fruits. It develops from the plumule of a embryo of a germinating seed. The stem, it bears nodes and internodes. The regions of stem where leaves are born are called as nodes. So these are the nodes from where leaf arises. And please note students that nodes and internodes, they are completely absent in roots, but they are present in stem. So nodes and internodes are the unique characteristics of stem. The stem, it bears bud which may be terminal or axillary. See, this is terminal bud and this bud which is present somewhere here, it is axillary bud. Stem is generally green when young and later often it becomes woody, as you can see, okay, and it becomes dark brown too. So the aerial part of the plant body is collectively described as shoot system. This is the main axis of a flowering plant. This is the stem. Okay, the stem is generally green when young and later they become woody or dark brown. See, this is the germinating seed. This is the plumule which later on give rise to a shoot system, which is this, and this is the radical part that give rise to root system. Okay, as I have taught you in my previous section of the presentation. Okay, so shoot is a ascending part of a growing plant, students. Okay, see, this arises from plumule. Now, what are the characteristics of a stem, students? It is positively phototropic. Photo means sunlight and tropic means growth. So, it is positively phototropic. That means it grows towards the sunlight. But it is negatively geotropic. That means it stays away from the gravity or from the soil. Okay? So, it is negatively geotropic and negatively hydrotropic. Hydro means water and tropic means growth. So it is negatively hydrotropic. That means it grows above the ground and hence it is negatively hydrotropic. See, this is the terminal bud and this is the axillary bud, which axillary bud is situated between the main branch and the lateral branch, you can say, and this is the terminal bud. Terminal bud is also known as apical bud because it is present at the apex. Okay, students, see, these are the nodes from where leaf arises. Okay, and this is the distance between two nodes is called as internode. Okay, students, and this is leaf which is born on the node of a flowering plant, and these are the flowers, and this is the branch. Let's see all parts again. See, this is terminal part, bud, flower, leaf, node, and distance between two nodes is called as internode. This is axillary bud and this is branch. Now this is, as you can see, this is a closer view of bud. Compact young shoot that is made up of condensed stem. Okay, and it is immature leaf. Now let's talk about the type of bud, students, and its location. See, if it is present at the apex of a flowering plant, then it is called as apical bud, and if it is present between the main branch and the main stem, then it is called as terminal or axillary bud. Okay, as you can see in this picture. See, this is adventitious bud which is present at the, it could be present on the horizontal branch or it could be present in roots also. Okay, so this is adventitious bud. Another bird is accessory bird. It is very rare form of bird. Now type of birds, we will study about the morphology about it. See, they could be scaly like this. They could be covered, that means bud could be covered, so they are called as covered birds like this. Okay, as you can see in rosebud. Okay, this is hairy bird. Okay, because it has numerous number of hairs. And fourth is naked bud. That means it does not have scales, it does not have hairs, and it is neither covered. Okay, so this is called as naked bud. So these are the type of buds on the basis of their morphology. What is morphology? Morphology is a study of external features, students. Now type of birds function. We'll study about the function. Vegetative or leaf bud. See, this is vegetative, or it is also called as leaf bud. Okay, this is reproductive, and it is also called as floral bud. Floral bud means it will give rise to flower at some point of time. Okay, so this is floral bud. It is also called as reproductive bud. Okay, function of stem. What are the functions of stem or shoot system, students? It produces and it support lateral appendages like branches, leaves, flowers and fruits. Second is it helps in the conduction of water and mineral to different parts of the shoot. Third is transportation of food that is produced by leaf to root, fruits and other storage organs of the plant. Okay, that means it helps in the conduction of food from one part to another part. These are the primary functions of stem. Stem may, however, be modified to perform secondary or accessory functions. Now, what are those? First, it helps in the storage of food and water. It helps in the proliferation and propagation. It helps in procuring support for climbing. It helps in the protection from browsing animals. And it helps in perination. What is perination? Tiding over unfavorable growth period. I'll explain these points in detail in the later part of this presentation. Okay. And another function is synthesis of food. Okay. Now, modification of stem. First is underground. Underground modification are as follows. First is rhizome, second is tuber, third is bulb, and fourth is comb. Now let's talk about another modification of stem, and that is subaerial modification. Runner, stolon, offset, and sucker. And aerial modification is tendrils, thorns, phyloclad, and cladode. So these are the modifications of a stem: underground, aerial, and subaerial. Okay. And bulbil. Bulbil is also a modification of aerial modification of a stem. Okay. I'll explain you all these modifications in detail here. First is underground stem. A stem that develops below the soil. Okay, they develop below the soil. The stem, it remains dormant or inactive during unfavorable condition, but when favorable condition arrives, it gives off aerial shoot. Okay, so this is one modification of a stem, which is called as underground stem. Now, what's the main function of underground stem, students? First is the storage of food. Second, perination. What is perennation? Tiding over unfavorable period. And third function is vegetative propagation. So what is perennation, students? Perennation, it is ability of organism, particularly plants, not humans or animals. It helps to survive from one germinating season to another. Okay, and secondly, you can say that it typically involves development of perinating organ, because perinating organ is necessary to store enough nutrient to sustain the plant body during unfavorable season, and thus it develops into one or more new plant in the following coming years. Okay, so perinating organs are storage organs like tubers. Tubers you can see in potato, rhizomes and buds. So these three are perinating organs, which I'll be explaining you in detail in this presentation. Okay, so the plants commonly use the same organ for both survival and reproduction. Rhizome. This is prostrate, dorsiventral, thickened, that grows horizontally. Okay, so this is rhizome, which is modification of stem, students. See, this is these two are node, and this is the distance between two node, and it is called as internode. Okay, and these are axillary bud, and these are the scaly leaves. Okay, these are the scaly leaves of underground or this stem modification. So the rhizome, it stays dormant under soil and it develops aerial shoot during favorable condition. That's why rhizome is called as perinating organ, but because it stores nutrient in the favorable season for unfavorable season to arrive. Okay, so rhizome, it stays dormant under soil and it develops aerial shoot during favorable condition. Growth of one rhizome takes place with lateral bud. Okay, that is called as sympodial rhizome. See, students, rhizome are of two types. First is sympodial and second is monopodial rhizome. So growth of rhizome, it takes place with lateral bud, okay, or axillary bud. This you can see in ginger, which is also called as gingiber officinale. Okay, you can see this in turmeric. See, these are the scaly leaves. Okay, and these are the lateral branches, you can say. So turmeric is an example of sympodial rhizome. Okay, and botanical name of turmeric is Cucurcuma domestica. Curcuma domestica is the botanical name of turmeric. Okay, canna. Canna is also an example of sympodial rhizome, students. See, these are the scaly leaves of it. The growth of rhizome, it takes place with terminal bud. Then that is called as monopodial rhizome. Okay. Unlike sympodial rhizome, wherein growth of rhizome takes place with axillary or lateral bud, but here in monopodial rhizome, growth of rhizome takes place with terminal bud, as in case of lotus. And terrace. Terrace is also called as fern in day-to-day language. Okay, this is stem tuber, students. Swollen tips of special underground branches. See, these are the swollen portion of the underground branches. That means a stem got modified into a stem tuber. Okay, that stores starch. Common example of stem tuber is potato. Okay, see, these are the nodes, which are also called as eye of potato in day-to-day language. And the space between the two is known as internode. So this shows that a potato is a modified stem. Okay, because it has nodes and internodes. Tuber bears scale leaves with axillary bud, which are commonly called as I just taught you. Under favorable condition, they sprout to produce aerial shoot. Okay, they produce aerial shoot. Unlike rhizome, tubers do not produce adventitious root. Please note that unlike rhizome, tubers do not produce adventitious roots. Example is potato. And what's the botanical name of potato? Solanum tuberosum. Solanum tuberosum is the botanical name of potato. Okay. Now another modification is bulb. This is condensed discoid underground stem. Okay, this is underground stem, and upper surface is slightly conical, as you can see that this is conical in shape. So upper surface, it is slightly conical in shape, and this is condensed discoid underground stem, and it has centrally placed apical bud. So what it is apical bud which is centrally placed, and these are the inner thick and fleshy scaly leaves which we consume. Okay, that stores food, and this is outer thin and dry scaly leaves that is meant for protection. And these are the adventitious root that emerges from the stem, underground stem. Okay, so this is another modification of stem. Now comes, see, this is onion. Okay, fleshy scale leaves surround apical bud in the form of concentric rings. See, these are the concentric rings, and this is the apical bud, and this is the conical portion, and these are the adventitious roots that emerges from the underground stem. Okay, so this is tunicated bulb. Tunicated bulb is onion. Okay, and fleshy scale leaf partially overlap by their margin only. See, there is a margin in case of garlic. I'm not talking about the onion, I'm talking about the garlic, that these are the fleshy scale leaf that partially overlap by their margins only. See, this is the margin, this is dorsal margin, and this is the ventral margin, and it is called as scaly bulb. Now we'll talk about the comb. That is another modification. So this is short and stout, fleshy, upright underground stem. That means a stem has modified into underground form, and it got reduced also. It has become so stunted and short and stout. It has become fleshy also, but in the upright position. Okay, it bears many buds in the exile of scale leaves. See, these are the scaly leaves, and these are the buds, adventitious buds, of course. Okay, so these are the adventitious roots. Comb is a condensed form of rhizome that grows vertically. Okay, as you can see in Arabi botanical name is Colocasia. And Jamikand, okay, which is also called as Suran, whose botanical name is called as Amorphophallus. Okay, now we'll talk about the subaerial stem. Okay, those were the underground stems modification. Now we'll talk about the subaerial stem. A stem that trails on the soil. See, this is the soil. Okay, and this is the stem. So the stem that trails on the soil or found partially beneath the soil, it is called as subaerial stem. What are the functions of subaerial stem, students? Perennation, that means tiding over unfavorable period of time, and vegetative propagation. Okay, then comes runner, a special narrow green prostrate branch. This is runner that runs around the ground. It is very narrow, it is green in color, it is prostrate, it has prostrate branches, and it is special. It develops at the base of erect shoots, as you can see. Okay, it is developing at the base of the erect shoot. See, this is the erect shoot, and this runner, it emerges from the base of the erect shoot. This is the crown portion of runner. Okay, so this is one crown and this is another crown. Number of runners, they arise from each erect shoot and it is spread in different directions. Okay, at certain intervals, as you can see, crown is above the ground and adventitious roots, they are below the ground. I repeat, crown above the ground and adventitious roots below the ground. Okay, see, these are the nodes that bears scale leaves and axillary buds. Okay, see, these are the axillary buds which are present at the nodes from where prostrate branch, that is runner, emerges. Okay, as you can see in lawn grass, whose botanical name is Cynodon dactylon. Hydrocotyle, whose botanical name is Centella asiatica. Runner is oxalis also. Now comes stolon, that is another subaerial modification of stem, students. Slender lateral branches that arises from the base of main branch or main axis. See, this is the main axis and this is the slender lateral branch that emerges up, and then it later on goes down and it touches the ground, and then it later emerges above the ground. Okay, so this is stolon. This way you can identify that it is a stolon because it is slender and lateral branch that arise from the base of the main axis, and then it later on it touches the ground, as you can see, and then it later on emerges above the ground. So this is your stolon. It initially grows upward, then later bends downward and it touches the soil. So this is stolon, and terminal bud give rise to shoot. Please note that in stolon subaerial modification of a stem, terminal bud give rise to shoot, and this is root. Okay, so in jasmine, stolon is there, and in mentha too. See, this is mentha, and in strawberry and colocasia. So these are the examples of stolon. Now comes offset. See, this is offset. This is one crown and this is another crown. Okay, let's see what it is. It is runner of aquatic plants. I have just taught you about the runner, which is a modification of a stem. So it is a runner of aquatic plants. Okay, see, this is offset. This stem is called as offset. It is very shorter and very thicker than runner. That's the difference between runner and offset. Okay, but offset is considered as runner of aquatic plants and it helps in vegetative propagation. Please note that. It is seen in water hyacinth, which is called as Ecornia, in water lettuce, which is called as Pischia. It is also seen in underwater offset of Pischia, as an offset of Pischia. Okay, then comes sucker. They are runner like branches which develop from the axil of scale leaves. See, these are the scale leaves and these are the adventitious roots. Okay, so these are the runner like branches which develop from the axil of scale leaf, that is sucker, that grows horizontally below soil for some time, then comes above the soil obliquely and it produces aerial shoots. See, this is the aerial shoot, which is after it migrates from underground, then it comes above. Okay, also known as underground runner. Please note that sucker modification of a stem is also called as underground runner. It is seen in chrysanthemum. See, this is the sucker of chrysanthemum. Now let's talk about the aerial stem. Sometimes aerial stem or its vegetative or floral buds, they undergo modification to form a specialized structure. Okay, then that becomes aerial stem. This is such as tendril, thorn, phylloclad, cladode, and bulbil. So these are the modifications of aerial stem modification. Okay, such stem, they perform special function, hence they are called as metamorphosed stem because they can perform another function too. Okay, that's why they are called as metamorphosed stem. So first is a stem tendril. This is tendril, which is wiry in nature. Axillary bud, this is axillary bud, which is modified to form thin wiry like structure, and that is highly sensitive structure. Okay, so this is called as tendril. Tendril, it helps the plant to attach itself to support and climb. That's why it curls up, and it is found in plant with weak stem. Tendrils, they are leafless, they don't have leaves. Tendrils, they are coiled with sensitive adhesive gland for fixation. Okay, see, this is the picture of stem tendril. In some plants, apical bud is modified into tendril. So this is the apical bud which gets modified into tendril or wiry like structure that helps in supporting or climbing. Okay, so this is the passiflora plant, and whose axillary tendril is this. See, this is the axillary tendril which has later modified into a wiry like structure, and that it helps in the climbing. And this is apical tendril. Now comes another modification of aerial modification of stem, and that is thorn. Thorn is hard pointed, usually straight structure that produced by modified axillary bud. So this is axillary bud which gets modified and becomes thorn, which is hard pointed like a structure. This is leaf, branches, and flowers, they develop at the node of a thorn. Okay, that means at the node of the thorn, leaf, branches, and flower develops or emerges. So this indicates that it is a modified stem. Okay, because it has nodes and internodes too. Okay, sometimes apical bud is modified into thorn. This is also the case. Axillary thorn example is durantha. Okay, this is the thorn of durantha. And citrus, okay, such as lemon. Okay, so this is the thorn of a lemon tree, and this is the thorn of bougainvillea, and this is the apical thorn of carissa. Okay, so we have studied axillary thorn and apical thorn. Now comes phylloclad. What it is also called as cladophyll. Okay, so don't get confused with it. The stem modified into leaf-like structure. The stem, it got modified into leaf-like structure. Green flattened leaf-like structure with distinct nodes and internodes. See, this is node, and this is portion is called as internode. So it is green flattened like structure. This is cactus. Okay, so it is green flattened leaf-like structure with distinct nodes. See, this is node from where thorn has arisen, and this is the space between two nodes is called as internode. Okay, and these are the internodes, as you can see. So leaves, they get modified into spine to check the loss of water due to transpiration. That's why they such plants, they occur in desert areas. To reduce the transpiration, they get converted into spines. Therefore, a stem, it takes up the function of photosynthesis because it is green, so it can perform photosynthesis to students. Phylloclad, it can be thick, fleshy, and succulent. Nagfani, Opuntia, okay, whose botanical name is Opuntia. It is seen in this. Phylloclad can be cylindrical too, see, as in case of Casuariana. and Euphorbia pterocalli. Okay. Phylloclad, it can be flat and ribbon-like too, like this. It is ribbon-like. Okay. Now another aerial modification of a stem is cladote. This is green branch of a limited growth. That means it will grow up till here only. But the lateral branches, it will grow without any end. So it performs photosynthesis, and true leaves, they are modified into spine. Okay, in case of cladote, it is seen in asparagus. See, these are the that got true leaves that got modified into spines. Okay, now comes bulbul. See, this is another modification of aerial modification of a stem. This is axillary bud that becomes thick and fleshy and rounded. Okay, bulbit, it gets detached from plant and it falls on ground and it develops into a new plant. So it has vegetative properties too. It is seen in Dioscorea. So this was all about the stem and the modification of a stem. In my next section of the presentation, I'll be teaching you about the leaf. So till then, stay tuned and keep watching Edupedia Word videos. Thank you.